Ho, Mario! In this video we're going to make a start at drawing the plan, but first we need to get our AutoCAD up and running and get that loaded and get our template started. Now, as we know, it takes a little bit of time to get AutoCAD organised, so I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the template. If you're running AutoCAD as a standalone operation on a PC or Mac, AutoCAD will automatically store your templates in a set location. So every time you go to set up a new drawing, the templates will be there available for you to choose from. However, if you're using a network, you may have to navigate to your template. So if we just go up here and File, New drawing, you can see there that there's my template, and it's in the, if you look at the track record for that, it's in an Autodesk file there. So there it is there, the CCA2 template. However, if you're in a network, you may have to navigate to it, and I've put it here. I'm going to navigate to it here in my videos, and I think it's in CC. And just down the bottom there, I believe there's my template there. So I load up my template, and it's going to come through like that with my properties there and what have you, all set, ready to go. Now, you can see here that it's in paper space. If I double click into here, into where the drawing's going to be, double click, you can see the large black line comes, and that's a viewport. And this actually now changes over to model space. So if, say for instance, I draw a circle in there, like so, using the graphical one, and I can also, over here, I could draw a polygon, and it's asking me a number of sides. I'm going to draw a three-sided polygon, sometimes called a triangle, and the center of the polygon, I'll just put that there, and I'm going to go for an inscribed circle, and that's there. It'll draw my triangle there. The other thing I might want to draw is just a line through here like so. Now, if we look at these here in the properties, you can see that up here it's got the template, the current layer is the template logo layer. I don't really want it to draw in that, but remember that we're drawing in model space, so model space has its own set of layers, as does paper space. So I can select various layers. So I could maybe select all of these things here. I've got them selected, and I could just choose to put them into the into the zero layer or whatever layer I wanted. But I'm just going to leave them there for now because they're not important. So it's important that you make a particular layer the current layer. So you can say always drawing in the zero layer, and that's the layer that it'll draw in. The color of the object will be by the layer, which is set by whatever that layer is set to. The line width here will be set, in this case, by whatever set for the layer, and the line type will be there. Now down over here, you'll notice that there's another model here, and this is the actual model space. And if we go in there, what I've got here is I've got something running already, so I need to go escape. So make sure everything's clear, and I'm back to a full set of things, and then click my model space like so. Now this is your model space. Everything in here is at the real size, real world. And if I go Z for zoom and enter and E for extents, you'll see that there's my little circle and triangle and line that I drew. So here they are in model space, and here they are in our template, also in model space, but in this one here we can govern what scale they are by various settings down here. So where you draw is pretty much up to you. Some people prefer to draw in model space, like in this space here, and others in the plan so that they can see how things are working. My preference is generally in here, but yeah, quite happy to go into model space here. All right, so let's just delete those there. Now, having said all that, we now come to where we want to draw the plan. And the first thing I would want to be drawing is the outside, or the perimeter of the house. So get that right and we move on from there. But I find here's our, I'm just going to navigate to our plan now, which is the plan that we have that we're going to work from. And I've got that stored up in here, so I can navigate to it onto my files on, I use OneDrive. So this one here, and there's our plan there. Now, one of the things that we're going to have to do is to reduce the wall thickness to 90 millimeters, and that can be a little bit of a problem, because as you can see, if we go through here, this side here, assuming that this distance from here to here is the same as this distance from here to here, but here we've got no walls in there, so there's nothing. But on this side here, we've got 2 walls to remove. So we're going to have a few little inconsistencies depending on how many walls we encounter. So it's probably a very good idea to make sure that we get a shape, remembering that a square shape, the lengths or the lengths of the various sides will be the same for each end and across like that. So it's probably a good idea just to sort out some actual measurements here. So what I've thought would be is a good idea is I'm just going to annotate here on this PDF file and then save it as an annotated file. So there's a number of ways of doing this. So this is just a little text box here, and I can put that in there like that. Now what I'm going to do is on my calculator, I've got 2.8 there, 2.8 there, and 1.6. I'm going to add all those up, plus I'm going to add 100 plus 100 plus 100, which is 300, and that comes to 7.5, and then I'm going to take off 10, 20, 30 mils, so that gives me 7470 millimeters. So that's going to be my length there. This particular little, this one here, I'm going to just keep that there as 500. So that's going to be 500. So I'm just annotating this PDF here, and you can just click out, click in, and move that. So I'm going to keep that at 500. And it's a good idea to record these decisions as you go along, so that you can remember what it is you did. Now in here, I've got 3.1, and I've got 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and I'm going to take off 20 mils. So I'm going to make that there 3280. So let's just put that in there, 3280. I'll just move that up so it's not covering that little bit of stuff there. So that's 3280, and then through here I'm just going to keep that at 2526. Okay, 25, and then 26 less 10, 2590. So 2590, and through there 2590. Just put that up there, 2590. Like so, and then I'm going to get out my calculator and add those up just to see how that all fits together. So that's 7470 plus 3280, 3280 plus, and 2590 plus, which is 13340, which is the total. So I'll just put that in there like that. So this is just recording the various measurements that I've made. So that's 13340. Okay, now this distance up here, obviously that total along there will be the same here. This distance up here, I've got 6700, and I've got 1, 2, 3 major walls. I'm not going to worry about the little wardrobe. I'm just going to let that come as it has. So I've got 6700, and I'm just going to take 30 mils off that. So that's just going to give me 6670. So let's put that in there, 6670 for there, just so that records that decision there. I'll just put this, put these measurements out this side as well, just to make it a little bit easier for myself later on. So that's going to be 13340. Just checking. Yeah, and then over here, and remember that's going to be 500. That's going to be 500. I'm just going to keep that the same because it just seemed to make sense to have a nice even measurement in that outside wall in there. So, so that's, I've decided on just the outside shape of my my house, and I know that this side from there to there is going to be 6670 plus 500, and these two are 1340 and 6670. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to save that file, save as, and I'm just going to call that plan there, but I'm going to call it annotated, like that there. I'm going to call it annotated 2 because I have a previous version of that, like so. PDF of annotated 2, and I'm just going to save it. Okay, and then I'm just going to reduce it down and bring it over here so I can have it next to me here on my screen here. I just want to reduce this, minimize this, and so here's my little drawing thing here. So now I can probably get rid of that, close the comment pane, and I think we can sort of read what things are going to do now. Alright, so now we can, I'll just do a zoom here. Oh, page down. You always got to make sure that you're working in the right window. So I'm just going to go here, just go zoom extents there. Z, enter, E, enter. Okay. Right, so now I'm going to start drawing my house. Number of ways you can do this, but I'm just going to start with a line here. Just note that I'm in ortho mode, so that means that I can only go in the cardinal direction. So I'm just going to start there, and I'm going to go up there 6670, enter. And again, I'll just go zoom extents. Okay, escape. Now, so I can just roll down. Like there's my line. I can just do a little check. Oops, I seem to have got 2 lines there. I don't know why that is. Okay. I'll just delete one of them. And there's another line there. And there I've got a line. It's in layer 0. And it's got an angle, and its length is not quite worked out. So I'm just going to do this here. Right, so I'm going to draw that again. So I'm going to go line to a point there, and then I'm going to go 6670, enter, which is millimeters, and then I'm going to zoom that down there, and then I'm going to click on that line, and we can see over here 6670, 0 degrees, and that's all good, but it's in layer 0. So what we possibly need to do here, and I'll just make this bigger so that it brings that up, is we need to go to layer properties, and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to call it wall lines. You can call it whatever you like. Wall lines. Okay, like that. And that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to double click on that layer, and that makes that the current layer. Okay, and then I'll close my layer properties box like so, and I'm going to just click on here and put this layer here, that line that we drew there, in the wall lines layer. Okay, like that. So now I can continue on drawing my little house. So line will be the outside of my house, and this one will be 7470. Enter. And then I want to go up there 500. Enter. And then I want to go along here 3280, 3280. Enter. Okay, and then down here 500. Oh, so much easier. I'm reading these off my little plan here. I also have a copy of the plan on my second screen. I'm actually reading it from there. But anyway, and then line from here. So these are so much easier if these are worked out beforehand. It's just straightforward then. 2590 goes to there. And then we're going to come down here 6670. And then I'm just going to click back to that one there, and it's just confirming. So we should just check that that's that one there, and that's 13340. So, and it's on a 270 degrees bearing. So that there tells us now that we've got our outside of our house pretty much sorted, and it's all good. It checks out with our plan, which is what we want, and then we can move on from there and start filling in some more details and things. But just before we do that, let's just go back to here, and there's nothing there. So we just go in here, zoom and extent, and there's our little house in there. Now we might want to set the scale for this, and what we can do is we can set the scale. We can click on here, and the scale that we're going to use is 1 to 50. So that makes it exactly 1 to 50. Make sure that's set at 1 to 50 there, and there's our little, we can move our house around now. But what we can do, and just click or enter to get out of there, there's a little lock down here, so that just locks it in. So there we are. We've actually got a little outside footprint, if you like, of our house there, all done and dusted, and we're ready to move on and sort of fill in some more of the details. So yeah, all good. Cheers.